All right, traders, George here, and time for a look at gold. It's been a while since I've done the last update, but let's take a look at what's been going on here. For starters, after breaking down below 1282, we moved swiftly through this air pocket here. Not as much trading, moving away from this very heavily traded zone here, this key balance beam. 1243, the main spike below, so 44s was the target there, and then I gave you guys a couple new targets to look to the downside, 1227.60 and 1204s. I also mentioned that if we broke below 1243s, we were very likely to retest these structure lows here in the 1180s. So we did follow through there. 27s hit, and then a sharp drive down. 1204s tagged, and then you can see this swing low here just a couple of dollars away from the initial spike down here at 1179. But basically playing right in line with that forecast. So since that's happened and the markets have had a deeper sell-off, equity markets as well as oil, gold has started to spike back up, and that's what it did the last two times that it was here. So for the current situation for gold, we're at 1230 and 80 cents right now, Sunday evening. We've come back through an area where there's some more trading developing. And 1215 is the floor of this area, 1225 is the spike, and then 1235 is the new floor here. We've recovered two of them. So this is very aggressive, and the potential early stages of some support being built at a key area. Obviously there's a support swing here, but there's not a lot of trading that's occurred here, so it's tenuous. Once the bulls get it back over 15 here, 1215, they start to build some price action at a more safe area. So where we are right now at 1230s, watch for 1235 to be crossed, and then that should take us up to 1243s. Okay, that's this key spike right here. Now that's an area to watch for the bears to come in and step on this again and drive it lower, or the bulls to take that over like they did the last two bounces off these very low areas and start to drive it up again. So the first most important area for strength to come back into gold will be over 43s. And once that happens, assuming that it does, all of these key balance beam price points here that have been essentially the playing field for gold for quite a while, they're all still relevant. So if the bulls can take over 43, this air pocket that helped drive it down here will help move it up. 1267 would be an interim target on the way to finding the floor here, which is 1282, with a ceiling at 1287. And if they can get it over 1287s, there's a mini air pocket that takes us up to 1311 with a ceiling of about 23 there. And then over 23, we're over the most intensely traded zone, and then 41 and 91 become the next key targets. So gold being in a multi-year sell-off here and having difficulty staying over this area, that really reads into the bearish nature. With these sharp drives to new lows, however, at about the key round number of 1200, it seems like the bulls are coming in enough to defend, and the shorts are getting out of the way and allowing that to happen. So gold is actually setting up for a potentially pretty good move to the upside. Now the last couple times that it's made its way up, it's actually lived in a downtrend, a sort of a sub-downtrend here, this red line, and that would see price colliding with it in the 1320 camp, right around 1323 it turns out. So something to watch there down the road, assuming gold moves up. Will it take over this downtrend line, which it has been unable to do up until this point? So the best trade scenario here would be to look for the action at 1243. Will the bulls take that over, or will the bears put a resistance swing in there? I'm going to clear out the targets here. All right, so I just added those three price points in there just so that you know about them. And they're all price points that are from the floor of this balance beam north. So if you look to the left, you can see that the trading commitment really tapers off quite a bit. So while we do have structure swings here, the amount of trading that's happened there in that brief point in time is relatively small, and so not quite as important. And then let me give you this look before we sign off here. This is the monthly view of gold on the balance beam model here, and you can see this little region we've been talking about is all contained right about here, and we're really pressed to the lows of this very heavy traded area here. So with 1200 giving away again, assuming more weakness comes in, that opens up a gigantic air pocket below where about 1085 exists below en route to the upper low 900s, about 950 or so. And if that happened to give way, we're talking about 660 or so to this one here. So it's a tenuous area here for gold to move to make new structure lows here and be at the very edge of this zone here where it's had difficulty twice before making a drive to new structure highs and breaking the downtrend. So here's another chance for the bulls to pop it up. We'll see if they can do much with it, but just keep in mind that if it breaks back below 1200, it opens up the potential for it to move much lower. And we did have a good bounce recovery so far, but it's still got a little bit more work to do. And all you need to think about to verify that the strength is coming back into gold is to watch these key price points here, which have been triggers to the downside recently, but they've also been triggers to the upside under the right circumstances. So right now I want to see gold get over 43 here as a sign of strength, and if that's the case, that would be a good position trade to see it move up to 67 and then 82 for the first two key targets there. So we'll be on top of this in the live room, but I just wanted to put a more macro view video out there just to update you all since I haven't done one for a bit. Great move down. Congrats to all of you that have been following these trades as I've laid them out here for this last move down here in gold, but it looks like now we might be getting ready to shift gears in a meaningful way here for gold, and 1243s is the first key transition point. That'll do it for now. We'll see you back in the live room.